Hold on, we need another board for this. I want to play a game. Good morning and warm greetings to wherever you are in the world. This is Amelia, aka Spaced Out Puffin, and today we will be ranking the characters of Heaven Official's Blessing. Because you know, you're not a real YouTuber before you have done a tier list on every single subject related to your area of interest. So I thought I'd start myself off with one that I really wanted to do ever since I started watching Heaven Official's Blessing. And of course, I couldn't just stick with an online pre-made template that I could just screen record and show you guys. Do any of you recognize this board? It's the scrap board. And for a short time now, it's been repurposed. And it will now serve as my tier list. And you know, I did not think I could be this extra before I started this channel. I'm learning so much about myself. And so, because this is the Corkboard channel, here is maybe, I hope, hopefully, YouTube's very first Corkboard tier list. And I think this is clever because I can just repurpose this. Like whenever I want to make a list, I can just put this up here with like new notes for whatever I need. I say this as if I'll be making a lot of these videos. But the purpose of this video is I recently finished watching the whole first season of Heaven Official's Blessing, and I'm about to go into season 2, which I know will bring along a whole new bunch of characters, as well as give our current characters even more to do. Maybe some new story beats, maybe some new character arcs, heaven knows. And if you have been following my channel, you will also know that I recently got a new printer, so I needed a reason to put it to the test. And as promised, the first thing I printed was the Hualian Puffins. Are they not adorable? These are going to be accompanying me for a long time. This took me like half an hour to cut out. It was so hard. I only have like this huge pair of kitchen scissors and a really worn out box cutter. But it turned out well. No one's missing a limb. So thank you again to Nim for making these. They will be keeping us company today as well. Ta-da! But back on topic, I have printed a picture of every character who appeared in season 1 of Heaven Official's Blessing. And I made name notes for all the ones who appeared without actually appearing on screen. So my actual plan is to create this ranking and then revisit it once I finish season 2 to see if any of my opinions have changed. And of course to add all the new characters and see where they land on the board. But how do we go about ranking these characters? Well, as any good tier list should have, I have made a few criteria. We'll be looking at the characters while looking into 3 things specifically. First off, were they interesting? Did they fulfill their narrative intent? Were we watching them wanting to know what they were thinking and what they were doing, why they were making the choices they were? I feel like you kind of just know when a character is interesting, but I do also love the analysis part of it. Picking apart why exactly this character irks you in a certain way, tickles your fancy, makes you hungry for more. Which brings us to the second thing we're going to be looking at. Do I want more of them? And especially knowing that season 2 is going to be more, do I want to see more of these characters? Be it their past, their present, or their future. Do we want to see where this character is headed or where they came from? And this is different from the were they interesting perspective. A character can be interesting and have fulfilled their story without me needing to see more of them. An example would be like a character I won't be rating because she's dead. Miss Yang from the first arc, for instance. She fulfilled her narrative purpose and I have no desire to see her return to the show. I'm quite happy with where she ended up, despite it being quite tragic. And finally, the third thing that we will be looking at is actually this really new thing within literary analysis. So if you're interested, you should be paying attention because this concept is literally being pioneered right now. It's called PPP, the 3 Ps, the concept of which has real implications for where I will be placing characters on this list. What are the 3 Ps, you might ask? Right, put your ears out. This acronym stands for Puffin's Personal Preference. My most important tool. Are you laughing? You shouldn't be laughing. This is really, really important. Because listen up. Suppose there is a character in this show, like purely hypothetically, a character who has appeared, might not even have a name, has had a little bit of intrigue to them and has done some really cool things on screen, but when all was said and done, did not really have a major role in the plot or the reveal. And while there are implications, they are actually not yet a character who fulfills any of the two first criteria. Perhaps the second one, but not really the first one. Because you could have technically cut them out and that really wouldn't have affected most of the plot. See, a character like that might have fallen maybe like in the C tier, but because of the implications of the 3Ps, this character might actually climb up on the list. So as you see, this really could make or break a character. So with this list established, what order are we going to go in? Well, I got a box, so I thought I'd just shuffle these in and start pulling them out and just go at this blindly. I have no idea how long I'll spend on this. I was hoping it could be like a short video, but we'll see. I forgot to introduce the tiers, fuck. So what about the tiers? This is your regular S, A, B, C, D tier list. However, I have given each tier its own name and implication. So the S tier is the supreme tier. What else do I need to say? Characters who deserve the S tier are the best of the best. They are the A-team. They need top grades in all three of our categories. And honestly, I can only think of like a couple at the top of my head who reaches this status. Let's see how it goes as I go through them. The A tier stands for all I want in a character. They fulfill much of what we've stated in the 3 criteria, the 3 categories, but might not make it to the very top. They are still the crop of the cream. Very interesting characters that I can't wait to learn more about. B stands for best of the bunch. They are characters who are likable, memorable, and just genuinely great characters. And then you have the C tier. It stands for character. If a character is in the C tier, they sure were a character. They might have done their job, they might have done their thing, and they did it well, probably. The most mid of the tiers for sure. Then there's the D tier. D for do I know you? I pay attention, so there aren't any characters that I don't really know, of course, but this tier is reserved for characters who I don't think had a very satisfactory character arc or were interesting characters at all. Characters that I definitely think could have been done better. Or, you know, maybe characters I really do not know. And with that out of the way, let us begin. The first character we will be ranking today is Nanfang, or Fang Xin. Now, I'll be treating these two as the same character. Not only have I been suspicious of that ever since the first episode, but I've treated it as fact throughout my entire reaction, and I am now 100% sure. Both based on the hints the show has given us, but also you guys. Because I've been acting like it's basically confirmed, you've basically revealed to me that, yeah, I'm right. And I'm good with that. Because that is actually a big positive for Fang Xin and Nanfang both. You see, separately, they are not great characters. Or rather, Nanfang is a pretty good character. He's the one we get to see throughout most of the show after all. He even has quite a bit of action. I also love his temper and also how protective he is around Hualian. He's shown up and he wants to do a good job. I also especially loved his distraction in episode 8, where he draws the perceived enemies away from Hualian. That was a risky and selfless act, and I love that for him. But outside of that, I'm not really curious about him, except for the fact that he is Fang Xin, and Fang Xin has a complicated past with Hualian. So what exactly makes a character who has such righteous and selfless characteristics abandon his crown prince and possibly very good friend? So Nanfang / Fang Xin is a really interesting character. He has interested me throughout the series, and I am very curious to learn about his past. Not so much about his future, because I assume that will be kind of making up for whatever happened in the past in a sense. So, as of right now, he is definitely one of the best characters of the bunch. Next up, we have Lingwen. Alright, here is one of those examples I was talking about earlier. Lingwen is great. Lingwen as a concept slaps. A heavenly scholar who is overworked and constantly tired. I feel her on a spiritual level. Lingwen as a concept slaps. As a character though, she has not had much to do. I can find things I really enjoy about Lingwen. I love her kind of like straight to business personality. It's most prominent in episode 1 and also episode 4. But she's basically just been around to give information. So far, I'm not very excited about her possibilities of getting a character arc. She has some interesting sort of gray areas that I'm looking forward to discovering more about. For instance, how she asks Hualian not to dig into the whole Banyue arc thing. Like, she's protecting Heaven's interests. But is she doing that out of duty? Or is she doing that for personal reasons? So yeah, there are things that I can find interesting about her, but judging from just the 2 first criteria, she actually belongs down here in the C category. But however, because I personally think she's fucking fantastic, she's upgraded to the B category. Am I weak to pretty girls in high professions? Yeah, I am. Okay, moving on. Pei Ming, General Ming Guang. I know that he's been mentioned quite a lot as a character who will be more prominent moving on. He's actually been brought up as a fan favorite to me a couple of times. So I'm intrigued, but mostly because of those comments and because of episode 11. Pei Ming has been set up since the first arc, and it seems like he will become a heavy hitter moving forward. Episode 11 sets up kind of this confrontation between him and the Windmaster, because the Windmaster has now taken in Pei Shu and wants to deliver him to heaven for punishment, while Ming Guang, Pei Ming, had big plans for that guy. Personality-wise, he's that fuckboy we both love and hate. Terrible womanizer, but he has principles. I am intrigued and I am looking forward to where he is going. But as of just season 1, he is not that important just yet. So to me, as of season 1, he is a C tier. He is a character who has fulfilled his purpose. But I am a little bit intrigued about where he is going. Next. Bai Wu Xiang, the White Cloth Calamity. He is more of a concept than a character at this moment, actually. However, I have some crazy theories about him, which makes me really excited to see where he is headed. We don't know him well enough for me to say that he fits the B tier. However, as a concept and a plot device who sets up the stakes, like this is the reason behind Shanle's fall. This is the reason behind Hualian's fall. His current predicament. This is the source of everything. So while we can't really say much about the character, because he is so interesting to me and I am so intrigued to see both the past and the future of this character, we're putting him in C tier. Like, he could have been our first D tier, but I can think of a couple of characters who could go there instead. Next up, we have Earthmaster. Has one mention in episode 6, where Nanfang, I think, says that Earthmaster makes great teleportation spells. I've had suspicions, but none of them have been clear. Do you know what? I can barely consider this a character, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm just gonna put them back where they belong. Like, not even enough information to consider them a character. Next up. Banyue! I adore Banyue. She is very, very memorable, and She is Hualian's daughter. She had an interesting arc, she had interesting complicated relationships, and she made me cry. Her story in the Banyu arc is 100% fulfilled. However, she's now with us at the Chestnut Temple, and I'm looking forward to seeing how she will be dealing with all her emotional weight, all her regrets, and just everything that happened in her past in order to move on and live on. Die on? She's a wrath level ghost after all. And she is with Hualian now. She might even have gotten herself a bonus stat. I love her character. She is the first A tier on this list for me. Next up is Xuanji. Xuanji gave me first boss vibes. I have no idea if we will still be seeing her. She was mentioned a couple of times in episode 4 because they were struggling to find places to put her. I think they tried to send her to live with General Nanyang in his new palace. She had a satisfactory story arc. Like, it was good. I quite liked her complicated character. She made for a really good first villain. A good introduction to the grace of the show, and also how dark it likes to go. That said, I am not interested in knowing where she's headed next. Like, I have no personal interest in it. Like, if she pops up, I will remember her, and that's why she lifts herself above the D tier and stays within the C tier for me. Oh no, she's in the same tier as Pei Ming. She probably liked that. I'm actually counting on both Pei Ming and Bai Wuxiang to kind of climb this ranking once I'm done with season 2 or once I'm done with some of the books. But yeah, because she got very fleshed out over those first 3 episodes, she gets to be a character. Alright, next up. Speaking of character. What? What do you mean I placed her over Nanfang? She technically kicked his ass anyway. Right, the Dark Road Woman. We actually do not know their name yet, not their identity yet. However, they were fantastic from the moment they came on screen. And there is really nothing about them that's really important to the plot right now, but my interest is off the charts, in more ways than one. And episode 11 ends with her having the staring contest with San Lang, which makes us think that she's going to be very important going forward because she has a connection to Hua Chang that needs to be explored. With all that, she still should only really be in the B tier, but I make the rules. She's an A. Alright, let's go, and Muqing. Well, Fuyao, aka Muqing. Xuan Zhen, the general, Hualian's previous servant, 800 years ago. Our resident shit talker, and one of my favorites from this season. In the same vein as Nanfang, I consider Fuyao and Muqing the same character here. Fuyao by himself is actually super interesting and would have made the B tier for me. However, the fact that he is Muqing, everything that comes out of his mouth is so intriguing to me. I am so interested in knowing his past. All of the Shanle trio's pasts really, but him especially makes it a thing. He makes their past the elephant in the room whenever he tries to do something to protect Hualian or say something to make him make what he seems to think is the right choice. So while Fuyao and Nanfang might seem like they should be on the same level, in season 1, Fuyao did have more spotlight in the sense of creating intrigue about what happened in the past with these people. So Fuyao, aka Muqing, to me is also an A level character. Moving on. I saw a man so pretty. I gasped. You know who it is. Oh my god. Like, I chose this picture, I printed it, I cut it up and put it in the box, and the moment I saw him, I still just... If you're not familiar with my reaction series, you might not know this, but Hualian is everything to me. I love when a main character is amazing. He is everything. Need you even ask? I could go on a rant about why Hualian is the first S-rank character on this tier list, but I could also just make you watch my reaction series. I talk about it there. Enjoy. Next on the list we have Windmaster. Okay, but here comes the hard part. Windmaster was a really intriguing character in the latter half of season 1. They were set up really well, and the narrative tried to lead us to believe that they were not there before the episode 11 reveal shows us that yes, this one was indeed Windmaster. And the whole middle of episode 11 is about establishing her as a character. She is a heavy hitter in heaven. She has so much going for her already. Beautiful, rich, smart, has a sense of justice, and a hot girlfriend. That said, she didn't do anything before episode 11. I already adore her a lot, but we don't know a whole lot about her just yet. Sure, we did learn a lot in that episode, but while I expect that there's going to be a lot happening around her, the mystery around the dark-robed woman, and my personal preference, is going to make me put Windmaster in the B tier, but like inching up into A tier. I like her a lot, guys, don't come at me for this. And my opinion might change after season 2. Like, if you think my opinion will change after season 2, you should let me know. Leave me a comment, give me a like. Am I likes fishing? That came out automatically. I've been watching way too many YouTube videos. Moving on. Alright, next one on the bunch is Chirong. Guys, Chirong has been mentioned and name dropped quite a few times, most notably because Xuanji apparently worked with him. That's why she strung up all those people in the Blood Rain Forest. And we know that Huachang got his namesake because he destroyed his fucking lair. I loved his character design in this one shot we have of him so far. But while there is some intrigue, I have to say he's not really even a character yet. But he's not really just a mention either. Like, he was the driving force behind Huachang's namesake. Well, driving force, at least he was relevant. So he is probably, for now, our first D tier character. I simply do not know him. Let's go on. Blackwater sinking ships. Another Ghost King. He actually gained more than one mention this season, the first one being when he was first introduced, the second one being in episode 12 when Huachang mentions how he doesn't like Chirong either. That's still only 2 mentions. We don't know shit about him. I'm putting you back where you belong. Next. Yizhen is the martial god of the West? Or East? West, I think. Mentioned once. Next. Pei Shaw. I have a love-hate relationship with Pei Shaw. He was a wonderfully complicated character. I hate what he did, but I love the way his story is set up. I had high hopes for him, which he dashed. But moreover, he bested me, and I have to respect him for that. He is a character who certainly fulfilled his role in the narrative. The question is he C tier or is he B tier? Well, he fulfills every point of the first category very well. The second one, what is his future gonna be? Actually, I have a little bit of interest in that. On one hand, I feel like he's done and dusted, but at the same time, the fact that he's connected to Ming Guang, and the fact that there is going to be a little bit of a push and pull here up in heaven. I think we haven't seen the last of him yet, so he scores full marks in the first category, pretty well in the Puffin category, and he does have a little bit of intrigue. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Bit low end, but still. And the next up is Roya. Do I need to say anything else? Now we're headed into Bandage Boy. He hasn't shown his face since the start of episode 4. As far as we know, Heaven is still looking for him, and I'm actually expecting him to show up again soon. He's definitely connected to Shanle. So far, he hasn't really had that much to do. The main part about him for me is the intrigue around Hualian, really, and his past. Like, he was a sweet boy with Miss Ying, but character-wise, not interesting by himself. But because of the intrigue, that pulls him up from the D pool, so he is a C tier character to me. Next, Voodoo. I know some of you feel strongly about him. But Wudu, the god of water and wealth, still only has one mention. So until there's more. And next up, the General Millstone, or Komu. Now, here is a character who certainly was a character. However, this is a character that did not satisfy me at all. He is from the warrior Banyu people, and that seems to be basically his whole archetype. There was something there in the way that he was the person who accepted Banyu into the kingdom and gave her a chance. I genuinely think that he cared for her, but I wish we had seen more of that, because all we really see is his anger and him taking it out on her. I think he was necessary for this plot to work the way it did, but I really wish that he was given a little bit more. So yeah, he is a C-tier character, but because I feel like they kind of could have done a little bit more for him. Like, yes, he did some terrible things and he was planning to do terrible things, but I think he could have been a bit more sympathetic. So he is a D-tier character to me. And like Xuanji, I don't even know if he's gonna pop back up, but we will see. Alright, and we're moving on to the Emperor. Another banishment corner candidate, you might ask? But actually, the Emperor Junwu has been mentioned several times as an important person, and he is connected to Hualian. He is the one who banished Hualian from heaven twice. I have been told that he's the Emperor of Heaven because he is the strongest god. So I think meeting him will let us learn more about how heaven works, for one. And also what exactly Hualian did to deserve punishment. Either way, because there's so much intrigue around this character directly connected to Hualian, I can't put him in the banishment corner. However, he's not really a character yet either. So he is another example of a D-level character for me right now. Let's see if that changes. Okay, I have a couple of ones left. Feng Xin, the evil preceptor of the Central Plane. The case of him is literally the same as with the Emperor. There is so much intrigue around him. I am so curious about him and what is going on with him, and especially how he connects to Hualian. Because I do believe Hualian knows this character. Him, her, them, don't know yet. But I have this suspicion. So because we don't know much yet, I'm gonna leave them down here. Which leaves the last character, and I'm so glad they are in here because I was wondering if I had forgotten to put them in. It is of course Sanlang, aka Crimson Rainsword Flower, the Ghost King, Hua Chang. Hualian is my absolute favorite. However, the more I learn about Hua Chang, the more I grow to adore him. I am more and more curious about his origins. And that is like one of the main mysteries we are trying to solve in this series, right? Why does Hualian mean so much to him? Why is he here? And after analyzing and listening to the lyrics of the first opening, which I loved dearly before reading the lyrics, I feel like I have a deeper understanding of his feelings, and he did make me cry. From the beginning, he could never be lower than A tier, but he's probably the character I am most interested in after Hualian. And I think it's only fitting that he gets to be up here as well. And that's it. Those are all the characters of Season 1 of Heaven Official's Blessing. Now, big disclaimer that these are my opinions right now after having finished Season 1. But they are free to change. Some characters might rise and others might still fall, depending on where they end up. And some might even escape banishment one day. Whew. Well, usually I would ask you to share your opinions with me as well. And by all means, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Just keep it spoiler free, guys. Some technical information, I still haven't received the web camera that I wanted to film Season 2 with, but I am testing my phone camera setup. Yes, I'm still using Teacher Tac. I am testing my phone camera again at a different setting now. And also I'm shooting in daylight. And if I am satisfied with the result, I might end up recording season 2 on my phone. At least the first episode. And that's it, that's the video. This has been Amelia, aka Spaced Out Puffin, and I will see you in the next one.